Good morning!
I'm your radio teacher,
I am your science buddy.
and I'll give you an exciting lesson that you'll surely enjoy.
Talks Radio. Education must continue.
Learning is a great avenue.
No one will be left behind. With new normal comes new learning.
New method, new way of understanding.
Keep on learning.
Keep on achieving,
There's no way of hindering.
enriching one's dream.
This is
Talks Radio, your number one source of science education.
Conveying a half an hour of quality scientific teaching on air.
This is
Talks Radio.
Fantastic day, grade 5 learners! How are you today? I hope you are all doing great as we are almost getting done with our lessons this third quarter. Keep learning and be magnetized with our lesson today. Welcome to the 7th episode of Talks Radio under DAPED Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela this third quarter, where learning has never been boring but keeps your day exciting. I am your science buddy, Teacher Rachel from Division of Isabela, igniting your passion in learning as we explore the worlds of electromagnets. Get ready and make sure you are in your most comfortable place where you can clearly hear me in your radio. Make sure also that you have taken your meals and snacks and other personal necessities so nothing can interrupt you from listening to our lesson. At this moment, let's get refreshed by recalling our previous lesson. Do you still remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Great! What is it all about? Very good! It's all about the parts of an electromagnet. Now, identify the part of an electromagnet being described based on its function. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
First, a number of turns of wire wound around a core as of iron to create a magnetic field for an electromagnet. A. Coil. Letter B. Dry cell. C. Iron core. What is your answer? Very good. It is letter A. Coil. Next, a core made of solid or some magnetic material which may contain very little iron. Letter A. Coil. B. Dry cell. C. Iron core. What do you think is the correct answer? Correct. It is letter C, iron core. And for the last, a sealed container that holds chemical which are used for producing electricity. Letter A, coil. Letter B, dry cell. C, iron core. Your answer is absolutely. It is letter B, dry cell. I am glad that you still remember the parts of an electromagnet because I assure you, you will employ your knowledge regarding this in your activity later. Great job, kids! Make sure that your learning materials needed are ready. Bring out your ballpen and notebook. Kindly prepare also the following materials for your activity later. For the first set, prepare 1 battery, 1 small nail, paper clips, thumbtacks, and copper wire. For the second set of materials, prepare 2 batteries, 1 large nail, copper wire longer than the copper wire in the first set, the paper clips, and the thumbtacks. To our parents and guardians, kindly guide our kids in handling the materials for their safety. Are you ready to get energized and magnetized with our lesson for today?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, prepare your dry cell of learning, your mind, and let's get started. How will you view life without any convenience at all? Waking up early at dawn to start working with your bare hands. No washing machine to aid you in washing your clothes. No clothes dryer to help you dry it. No vacuum cleaner to make your work easier. All the more, no electric fan and a refrigerator to make your day cool, and no computer for faster communication. Life would be so tiring and exhausting. But worry no more, because all these things have been provided to us all because of the concept of electromagnet, which we are about to discuss. What is an electromagnet? Electromagnet comes from the words electro, which sounds like electricity, and magnet, which refers to a magnet. Thus, it basically means a magnet that is created by electricity. Electricity and magnetism are closely related. Electricity can produce magnets and vice versa. Magnets can produce electricity. A magnet is usually made of iron. It can attract objects such as pins, coins, and other materials made of iron and steel. A nail is not a magnet, but it can be turned into one. But how? Yes, you are right. This is done by coiling a wire around it and then letting electricity flow through it by using a power source like dry cell battery. Wow! Doing this turns the nail into an electromagnet. An electromagnet is a temporary magnet which behaves like a magnet when an electric current is passed through the insulated copper wire and loses its magnetism when current is stopped. Acting like a magnet, it attracts materials made from metal like pins, paper clips, needles, and thumbtacks. If electromagnet is a temporary magnet, what is the difference between these two concepts? Exactly. The only difference of electromagnet from a magnet is its ability to change the strength of its magnetic field. If electromagnet has the ability to change the strength of its magnetic field, how is this so? What are the factors we need to consider in changing its strength? Very good! There are 3 factors to consider to affect the strength of an electromagnet. The first is by adding more coil to it. Coil acts as inductor. One cycle round of coil takes 1 turn. More turns make the magnetic field stronger. The second factor is by putting a bigger iron core such as nail, which is typically ferrous or iron bearing. This serves to increase the magnetic field created. The bigger the nail, the stronger the magnetic field it has. Finally, the third factor that can affect the strength of magnetic field in an electromagnet is the current or dry cell. The drier cell you use, the greater the current you allow to flow. Thus, the stronger the magnetic field it creates. For you to familiarize yourself more with the concept of electromagnet, let's have an experiment. Kindly bring out the first set of materials I have asked you to prepare before we started the discussion. These are the materials needed: 1 battery, 1 small nail, copper wire, paper clips, and thumbtacks. Do you already have it with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Great to hear it. At this moment, let's try to make a basic model of our own electromagnet. I am sure with the assistance of your parents or guardians, you can make it. But before doing so, let me remind you of the precautionary measures you need to follow for your safety. Safety precautions. First, do not set up the experiments near areas where there is water. Second, make sure to seek help from adults in performing the activities. And third, do not leave the wire hooked up to the battery for more than a few seconds. It will get hot and will drain the battery very quickly. Did you get it, grade 5?
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
good. Are you ready? Okay, so let's do it step by step by following the simple procedures. First, make an electromagnet by winding the electrical wire or the copper wire around the nail. I repeat, make an electromagnet by winding the electrical wire or the copper wire around the nail. Are you done with the first step?
Oh, yes.
Very good. Let's proceed to the second step. Connect both ends of the wire to a battery. Once again, connect both ends of the wire to a battery. If you are through with the second step, proceed to the third, which is to test the electromagnet by placing some pins, paper clips, and thumbtacks near the nail. I repeat, test the electromagnet by placing some pins, paper clips, and thumbtacks near the nail. Have you tested your electromagnet?
Yes, ma'am.
A loud wow for you! How is it? Did your electromagnet magnetize the paper clips, pins, and thumbtacks?
Yes,
What a
ma'am.
marvelous model! You did a great job. Now, let's see how far have you learned from our lesson. What are the parts of an electromagnet? Correct! The parts of an electromagnet are the coil, the iron core, and the dry cell. What are the factors that affect the strength of the electromagnet? Exactly! By adding more turns of coil or copper wire into the nail, using bigger iron-bearing nail, and drier cell to use. What do you think is the difference of an electromagnet compared to the real magnet? Definitely! We can change the strength of the magnetic field of an electromagnet from fairly weak to very strong, which we cannot do it in the real magnet. What do you think is the importance of electromagnet in our daily life? Absolutely. Electromagnets are used in the motors or machine that we use in our daily undertakings in order to make our work easier and make our life more convenient ever than before. It seems you are ready for doing another experiment this time. For your activity, kindly bring out the second set of materials I have asked you to prepare a while ago. For your second experiment, do another model of an electromagnet, but this time use longer copper wire, bigger nail, and more batteries to test if these factors make the magnetic field stronger than the electromagnet model you crafted first. Do the same procedures I have instructed you in your first experiment. Do not forget to ask the assistance of your parents or guardians or any adult who is capable in helping you, and again, remember the precautionary measures I have told you because this is for your safety.
Okay!
After doing your experiment, write a short paragraph to compare your first experiment to your second experiment. Do it in a sheet of paper. You may do it within 5 minutes. Are you ready, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. While doing your learning task, here is the Radyo Eskwela theme song.
Tayo ay mag-aral sa
Are you done, grade 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Great! Congratulations, grade 5 learners! You did great today! Also, don't forget to submit your output to your teacher. Let your parents or guardians submit it on your behalf, okay?
Okay!
Congratulations for a job well done, kids! I hope you've got something to store in your mind today. For any questions or clarifications, don't hesitate to ask your teacher, okay?
Okay!
Before we end our session, we want to acknowledge Miss Eunice Escrepus for her effort in writing this script and to all the members of the production team of Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela for their unending service for the children. Thank you for listening and tuning in to our DepEd Radio on Air. This is Teacher Rachel, your science buddy for today, saying, burn your midnight candle and your path to success will be enlightened. Keep safe and God bless everyone. Until next time.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!